Imagine waking up to the smell of smoke filling the air, seeing the sky turn an ominous shade of red, and hearing about a fire that's already spreading out of control. This wasn't just any fire. This was a catastrophe that devastated thousands of acres, destroyed homes, and claimed countless animal lives. But why did it happen, and what made this particular fire so hard to control? The wildfires in California and Los Angeles were sparked by a deadly combination of climate change, extreme heat, and prolonged droughts. Over the last few decades, the state has been experiencing hotter temperatures and less rainfall, creating the perfect conditions for fires. Dry brush, trees, and grasslands were like kindling waiting to catch fire. The winds, especially during certain times of the year, can also make the situation much worse. These winds, known as the Santa Anas, can push flames at lightning speed, making it almost impossible for firefighters to control them in time. But here's the thing. Wildfires like these don't just start on their own. Human activity is often at the root of the problem. Whether it's a careless spark from a power line, a vehicle dragging chains across dry grass, or even illegal campfires, these human activities can easily trigger fires. In fact, researchers estimate that nearly 85% of wildfires in the U.S. are caused by human activities. On top of that, California's urban sprawl means that more and more homes are built right up against areas that are highly prone to fire. This has created a dangerous mix of people, property, and flammable vegetation in areas that are almost impossible to defend during a major wildfire. Now, why couldn't this fire be contained? Wildfires are notoriously difficult to fight, especially when they grow that big. Firefighters are often battling not just the flames, but also the weather conditions, which can change rapidly. The winds we mentioned earlier can push the fire in unpredictable directions, and once it's spreading at that pace, there's no way to stop it until it burns out or runs out of fuel. Another issue is the lack of resources in certain areas. Many rural parts of California, which are heavily forested, lack the infrastructure and funds to maintain fire breaks or employ modern firefighting techniques. This makes it difficult to control fires before they get out of hand. And then, of course, there are the victims of this disaster, the animals. The fire not only wiped out homes but also completely destroyed the habitats of thousands of species. It's estimated that over 50,000 animals were displaced by the fire, and many didn't survive. Some animals were trapped by the flames, others died from smoke inhalation, and many more struggled to find food, water, or shelter in the aftermath. These wildfires are especially catastrophic for endangered species that already have limited populations or habitats. In California, these fires pose an existential threat to many animals that are already on the brink of extinction. Let's talk about the specific animals affected by the fire. California is home to one of the most diverse wildlife populations in the U.S., and this fire hit some of the state's most iconic species. First up, we have the black bear. These bears are native to California and can weigh anywhere from 200 to 600 pounds. Known for their intelligence and adaptability, black bears live in forests, mountains, and even near urban areas. But as their habitats shrink due to development and wildfires, they find themselves increasingly isolated. The recent fires destroyed vast amounts of their forest habitat, leaving them with fewer places to roam, find food, or raise their young. Then, there's the mountain lion. These elusive predators are crucial to maintaining balance in the ecosystem by controlling populations of deer and other small mammals. They typically live in forested, mountainous areas, but with increasing human development and the destruction of their habitats by fire, these big cats are being pushed closer to cities, where encounters with humans are becoming more frequent. This can lead to dangerous situations for both humans and mountain lions, as they struggle to adapt to an ever-shrinking habitat. Another species affected by the fire is the bobcat, which, despite being smaller than its bigger cousins, plays an equally important role in the ecosystem. Bobcats are incredibly adaptable, living in diverse environments from forests to deserts. But wildfires are a serious threat to them, as they lose access to the prey they rely on for food. These cats are already in competition with other predators, and when their food sources are wiped out in a fire, it can be a major struggle for survival. The California condor is one of the most famous birds in the state, and it's also one of the most endangered. With a wingspan of over 9 feet, the condor once soared across the skies of the western U.S., but by the 1980s, the species was on the brink of extinction. only a handful of individuals remained. Conservation efforts have brought the condor back from the edge, but the fires in California continue to pose a serious threat to its survival. Wildfires destroy the condor's nesting sites in cliffs and trees, and with fewer trees to nest in, the birds are forced to find new places to breed, often in unsafe areas. On the ground, another bird species, the California quail, is also struggling. These small, ground-dwelling birds are often found in grasslands, which, unfortunately, are one of the most fire-prone ecosystems in the state. The quail's nests are vulnerable to flames, and with their habitat destroyed, they face difficulty finding new places to live and breed. These birds play an important role in seed dispersal, so their loss could have a ripple effect on the ecosystem. Moving on to amphibians, the California red-legged frog, once thought to be extinct in the wild, is another casualty of the fire. This species, which is critical for controlling insect populations and maintaining the health of wetlands, has already faced significant habitat loss due to urbanization. Fires make their situation even worse, as they lose not only their homes but also the bodies of water they rely on for survival. And don't forget about the San Joaquin kit fox. This small fox is adapted to live in California's grasslands, but with the expansion of agriculture and urban development, their habitat has shrunk dramatically. Now, with fires constantly destroying what little habitat remains, the future of the San Joaquin kit fox looks uncertain. Their numbers are already low, and every fire that burns through their territory makes it harder for them to bounce back. These fires are not just an environmental disaster, they're a loss of biodiversity. California is home to an incredible variety of wildlife, and every fire that wipes out habitats is a blow to the entire ecosystem. Some of these species may never recover from the damage caused by the fire. And while humans can rebuild homes and communities, the impact on wildlife is something that can take decades, or longer, to fix. It's a stark reminder of how fragile these ecosystems are and how important it is to act now to prevent more destruction in the future. We need better fire management strategies, more awareness about the role of climate change, and stronger protections for wildlife if we're going to save California's natural beauty for future generations. And before we wrap up, if you found this video eye-opening and want to learn more about the natural world, wildfires, and how we can protect our ecosystems, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Your support helps us spread awareness and make a bigger impact. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have any thoughts or questions on the topic. I'd love to hear from you. This is Wild Scope, where we dive deep into the wonders of nature and science, so stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and let's keep fighting to protect our planet, one step at a time.